As you saw by the title of the video, I will be reviewing a kind of old movie. This isn't new or anything, but I thought that I would review it because this is personally one of my favorite movies of all time. The movie I will be reviewing is Tron Legacy. There really isn't anything wrong with this movie except for the occasional horrible CGI that they do for a man named Kevin Flynn. The soundtrack is no joke the best in any movie that I've ever watched. This is Daft Punk's best work, and it makes the movie even better. The plot of the movie is Sam Flynn, who is the son of Kevin Flynn, is trying to fulfill his father's legacy by doing what he wants with Encom, which is his father's company. Kevin's partner gets a page from Kevin's old office in the arcade, which is the one in the original, and just a heads up, I have no idea what the first one was about. That movie was a dumpster fire, but he goes there and finds a secret entrance where there's a machine that transports him to a place called the Grid, and there he gets captured and forced into games by a clone of his dad, which is named Clue. Sam actually does a good job putting up a fight, and the Disc War scenes are probably the best scenes in cinema history, in my opinion. Now, this movie isn't great. The introduction is just mildly interesting, but the fact that this movie made the original look like it was nothing, and that pretty much nothing was taken from the original, is astonishing. Sam gets saved right before him and Clue go mano a mano, and he gets taken back to where his father has been hiding this whole time by a woman named Cora. So yeah. And I have to say that the Grid looks so futuristic and clean. It really does improve from the original so much, and I know the graphics in the 80s weren't great, but for 2010, the Grid looked amazing. Jeff Bridges is playing Kevin Flynn and Clue, and he does amazing with making them both seem different. The suits of the programs look amazing, especially Clue's and Rinsler's. Sam leaves his father's hidey hole and goes into the city and meets with Castor, who is played by Michael Sheen, and his character's interactions with everyone is hilarious. Sam sneaks onto Clue's massive ship that looks amazing and steals the disc back and makes it to the portal that Sam created, and they have to fight Clue in the air dogfight style, and a shocking turnaround happens, and Rinsler sacrifices himself for the Clue gang, for the anti-Clue gang. The entire plan was for Clue to invade Earth and make it perfect, which is Clue's whole thing, is to make everything perfect. And also, by the way, Rinsler was Tron this whole time. He was just reprogrammed. And they need Kevin Flynn's disc to escape. Obviously, they stop Clue, and Kevin has to sacrifice himself to buy Cora and Sam time, and that's pretty much the end of the movie. No one knows what happened inside the Grid, and everyone thinks Kevin is still dead or just missing or whatever. And Sam has a new girlfriend now. From the minute that the Grid was introduced all the way to the end of the movie was amazing. Never once was I bored or thought that the movie was lame. It's kind of hard to imagine this being related to the first one, with this one being like 5 times better. Sam Flynn, who was played by Garrett Hudlin, was honestly perfect, even with people saying his acting was mid. I thought that he did an amazing job, and just absolutely I would recommend this movie. In my opinion, I thought this was one of the best movies I've ever watched, and even not knowing about it 2 years after it came out, it still holds up. Tron Legacy is a 10 out of 10. The only other movie that I would give a 10 out of 10 is The Batman, even though I ranked it a 9. Yeah, that's my bad. But anyways, thank you for listening, and please like and subscribe, and goodbye.